So, welcome everybody. It's a great pleasure to be with you today. And today I'm going to talk about one of the projects I've participated in one of the one of the biggest insurance company in Poland, Warta, as I will call it Warta. And where Vertica being used as a platform supporting or leveraging the machine learning for determining the pricing of the insurance policies. What about me? My name is Maciej Paliwoda. I'm solution architect at Vertica. I'm responsible for North of Europe and Central Europe. In IT, over 20 years right now, and for past couple of years, I was focusing on big data solutions and designing different various architectures for big data ecosystems. And thanks to my everyday work, I got an ability to work with the most famous brand across Europe. I got an experience which I with the pleasure sharing with you. So stay with me and let me tell you at the beginning what price optimization for the product is. In a nutshell, it's using a mathematical analysis to determine how customers are going to react for different prices of their product or services. The effect is that different people can get the individual or different price for the same product or service. Okay. However, determining that optimal price requires the company to consider factors from three key areas. First of all is willingness to pay the customer by the customer a specific amount of money, and as you can see on the chart, is decreasing while the price is growing up. And that could depend on the brand, the quality of the product, and so on. The next area is incremental profit, because company wants to make money, and due to some fixed costs company has related to producing the service or delivering the service or creating or making the goods, like cost of fixed cost of production, some margins, and so on. Under a certain amount, certain price, the profit is negative. And the last one is objectives and constraints. So you need to take into account issues like customer segments, seasonality, our market share, supply versus demand for the goods or services, or simply our capacity. What I mean by that is how the company is able to deliver a specific product in a specific amount or at specific date, simply. Okay. So the optimal price is calculated somewhere as a function of variables coming from those three areas. Okay. And indeed, the optimal price is different for every transaction, because the constraints, the willingness to pay, or the profit could be different in the context of specific transaction. And in a nutshell, the optimal price should reflect the company pricing policy as well. But that leads to a couple of challenges company that want to calculate optimal price need to face with. First of all, millions of decisions, because every transaction or specific customer can be described by many variables coming from those three areas. Could be 100, could be thousands of such variables. So you need to calculate them very, very quickly. Another challenge is a short window. Time window for the optimal price, because the price that was calculated yesterday might not be valid today, as some constraints or political situation or promotion campaign led by your competition may take place. So you need to calculate the price on the fly almost, because this is the third challenge, the process dynamic, because you need to calculate the price here and now when customer is
trying to make a decision if you want to buy a good or service. And we cannot imagine a situation when we are asking customer, please come within 2 or 3 hours because we need to calculate the price. And the last challenge is how we can make the price different, okay? Because it can be completely different approach in taking into account for example, the geography, or taking let's say specific customer parameters. For example, for the insurance market, imagine that if I'm in the bucket representing the age of people where statistically most road accidents are happening, I have a clean record and didn't have any accidents since for the past 20 years. So I don't want to pay additional extra fee for being a part of that group of people who are making high risk for taking the road accident happen. Okay. So then you can think about where is the place for advanced analytics and machine learning in the whole process. Okay, first of all, the price optimization is answering for main two questions: what price should we set if, and then there are a set of conditions, or what is the optimal price of if we want to achieve something. Okay, so we are talking about kind of anticipation, right? What if questions. So for such type of problems, machine learning and then advanced analytics comes in handy, and they are able to. The whole process can be in a relatively short time, taking into account huge amount of data and huge amount of variables. Sometimes, as I mentioned, even a couple of thousands, able to answer and estimate the price with a certain probability. And then it's up to decision makers to accept this answer or not, and then take the right decision and actions in this or another direction. Yeah, and to make such predictions, you need to use a specific machine learning algorithm. Now, that is why you have to have a group of people, data scientists or data science team in your organization that is allowing that have a knowledge and are able to select one of the over 100 algorithms that are present currently in that area. How to prepare the data, how to clean the data, how to do a feature engineering, and then they, of course, they cannot do without the right tools supporting the whole process, because every project is always a combination of people. In our case, the data science team, the process, how the optimal price is being calculated, and the technology tool sets that are supporting the whole process. And in the project I'm going to talk in a second, the company Warta was able to combine them with success. Okay, so let's go to our project. So project, as I mentioned, project was related to the tarification and making the individual prices for insurance policies, all policies except the life insurance policies. Okay, and Warta, as I mentioned, who is the one of the biggest insurance company in Poland, very well-known brand. Okay. In terms of data size, the data size was roughly now about 40 terabytes, but at the beginning it was smaller and was growing over the time. And what were the goals and objectives for the project? Why they started? Okay. So, first of all, they wanted to increase the competitiveness of the company on the market, and at the same time implement many best practices related to the tarification of the process. One of those best practices were using exactly the data science or machine learning to support the whole process. Then, of course, they wanted to have to note a positive influence on the financial results, and they also want to improve the risk assessment by better and more detailed analysis of the application form for the policy.
Okay, the whole project was delivered in the agile methodology and has 3 main phases. The last phase was related to the tool implementation. This is the phase I took part in this project, and it was lasted about 7 months. Okay. What were the project challenges at the beginning? So as the project assumed that they will transform part of the organization responsible for calculating the pricing of the insurance policies, they need to transform the processes, transform the organization, and also they wanted to build a data science team and make it part of the whole process. Okay. Then another challenge was how to properly design the architecture and select the right tools to make it working properly and efficient. And then when the production will take place, or the solution will be moved to a production, how to automate the whole process. Those were the 3 main challenges of the project. And when they build the architecture, the high-level architecture is presented in this particular slide. Unfortunately, I haven't got the permission to give you or present other technologies. Okay, but I think that you will have a good understanding what's happening and how the overall solution is looking like. Okay, so they have a legacy data warehouse, and from the data warehouse, some of the data were physically replicated to Vertica. During the transformation, some additional enhancement of the data has been done. Also, as a part of the deployment, there was a component that was periodically moving the deltas from the legacy data warehouse to Vertica to keep the data up to date. And Vertica became a central hub for the data, allowing them to clean the data, prepare the data, do some feature engineering, and also was repository for data being sent to statistical environment. What is also worth to stress here that they are only moving on the fly or temporarily the data necessary for the model training that took place in that statistical environment. And in both Vertica and the statistical environment, they were verifying different statistical hypotheses and then seeing if and evaluating the models and deciding which model is better for the current situation. And when the model was met all the evaluation criteria, it was moved to production and being used by the pricing system to calculate the overall price of the insurance policy. And then Vertica is being also used as an operational data store for the whole process, and they have a reporting environment with a BI tool. And also in that particular case, data were not replicated to that reporting environment. Whenever they wanted to create or predefined report or ad hoc report, there was a query push down. The Vertica was doing all the calculations, and that transformed aggregated data were sent to the BI tool and showing and to fill the data on the charts or in the tables. Okay. For those who are not familiar what Vertica is, let me do a quick summary on two slides. So first of all, Vertica is a database analytical data platform built from scratch for mass data analysis and speed, very fast analytics. Okay, we have customers when they are proud, and there is also a business requirement to deliver responses under sub-second time. Vertica is able, of course, to load and store the data in a warehouse repository, and could be easily scaled up to a petabyte scale. We are also proud of the deployments when we have customers using over a couple of petabytes of data processed in Vertica. Next is a query engine. Vertica allows you to analyze data and get the fast answers regardless where the data resides. What does it mean? It means that except the native Vertica format for storing the data, you have ability to get the data being stored in so-called data lakes. It could be cloud, could be Hadoop, or could be any on-prem object store, or in the cloud object store, and in various formats. Could be JSON, could be ORC, Parquet, and so on. Yeah, and that gives organization ability to have a, let's say, unified query engine, regardless where the data is being stored. And the last one is analytics and machine learning. Our approach to that let's say, area is different and innovative because we are doing everything in database. So you can create, train, deploy advanced models, machine learning models at a massive scale in database without necessity of moving the data outside the database. Plus, you get integration with data science tools and languages are Python, plus Vertica Py, which is an additional library allowing you to write the code in Python. It's and it uses scikit-learn functionality. But the beauty of that library is that all the calculations are being done on Vertica side, and only transformed data are being sent back to the client. So you can play really with the big amount of data. Plus, you get out of the box over 600 functions allowing you to time series joins, gap filling, and geospatial analytics, and so on, so on. Okay, and having such big functionality at the same time, Vertica is extremely easy to manage and easy to license. It gives you a freedom to deploy. It could be on-prem, could be cloud, public, private, or hybrid. And Vertica allows you to choose your cloud operator. Yeah, so we are proud that we are cloud agnostic. And what is important to stress here or to note here is that when you are moving your solution from cloud to cloud, finding the better price for cloud services, you don't have to rewrite or move or migrate the scripts, because scripts remain the same. So the costs related to that migration are mostly reduced to zero. And also you have a freedom to choose how you will scale your system, or you can scale server by server. And this is what we call Ion mode, or what we are proud of. You can scale computations layer and storage layer independently. That gives you greater flexibility, better workload isolation, and you can grow and as you want, and this is great flexibility. What is also worth to stress that Vertica is allowing you to do both on-prem and in the cloud, and I think that we are the only one technology is capable to do both of them. And then please remember that Vertica allows you to have one unified analytic engine and license exactly the same, and it's still one single binary file. Okay, so let's back to our project. Okay, what were the key success factors of the project? I think first two are tightly related to each other because they make this project very, very important. That was the vision of one the C-level managers, and they put into a strategy, and the project has a very high attention. So all management levels were engaged into the project, and that was the communication across all the levels in the organization were excellent. And that, thanks to that, whenever the tough decision or the decision requiring C-level involvement has to be taken, they step in, and the whole process was very, very smooth. Then they built a high qualified data science team. So started with a couple of people, then the team is growing up, and then they're hiring more people. And I think that building that set of competences in their organization was one of the key factors that make this project successful. And at the end, they did very, very detailed, and this is where I was also involved, detailed and meticulous proof of concept. So they're selecting the best technology, having the best feature. They have a detailed test related to the speed of the whole solution, and they're analyzing the tools from different perspective, different angles to select the best one fitting for their purpose and ease of use. Okay. If we are talking about the business benefits when the project was completed and moved to production. So first of all, among many others, the one that they allow to tell me about is a climb frequency. So it dropped by 5%. What does it mean? It means they are getting the customers which are in overall generating less claims or asking for a more recently or executing the insurance, okay, getting the money from it. So they're building the better portfolio of the customers, and you can think, okay, 5% is not enough. It's maybe a small number, but if you take under consideration number of policies that are being sold across the country, that's a significant financial or significant amount of money they can save. Okay, the project itself returned after 12 months, and I'm talking about the whole project, all three phases. What benefits they achieved thanks to implementing the whole solution, and mainly the Vertica platform? So first of all, speed. Even 25 times faster than the previous solution they had. And what does it mean? First of all, what they are very happy about is that they can talk. Now they can talk with the data. What does it mean? So whenever they initiate the query, they have the results of the query after a couple of seconds, even below 1 second, right? Thanks to that they are getting the response very, very fast. They are not afraid to experiment with the data. And I think that's the best outcome of that. So, previously they were afraid of verifying different hypotheses because they were afraid that we'll lose a lot of time, 1, 2, 3 days. Now with Vertica, they can experiment. They are tempted to do experimentation, to look at the data from a different perspective, do more advanced feature engineering. And thanks to that, they are executing high number of analysis. Okay. And to give you a proof. So one day they were managed to find even 5 different factors for risk segmentation, what was not happened in the past till the beginning of the project. Yeah. So yes. So next is faster decision making. As I mentioned, they are using BI tools and reporting system, and with Vertica they are they do not need to set up a meeting if they want to have another report, ad hoc report within the next or two days. They can do it during the meeting. Yeah, and this is what I've heard from one of the CIOs, C-level managers. Yes, my dream came true, because now I can look at the data from different perspective during the meeting and make my decision faster. From the IT perspective, they were very happy because stability and easiness to maintain. Vertica does not require them to spend a lot of time managing and maintaining it, and also built-in high availability, giving them the possibility to have extra confidence. What are the useful Vertica functionalities they are very happy with? So they can work with large tables, even table of 6 terabytes. That allows them to build a model for the longer time frame, taking under consideration data from the longer time frame. Also, ease of adoption. Vertica is a full ANSI SQL database. base as many others. In the past, they were afraid because Vertica was a new technology for them, how they will adopt in their organization. But when they see how easy and that's exactly the same SQL language, they were extremely happy, and adoption was was blazing fast. Okay, they're also happy with the ability to integrate Vertica with different data science ecosystem tools like R, Python, and other data science platforms. Just out of the box, also Vertica gave them ability to write their R code and wrap into a SQL function, which they can use directly from the SQL command line. And the last one is ease of data loading. So Vertica allowed them to, because when they are creating some models and they are predicting some results on the statistical environment, sometimes they also want to some data frames, or also additional data frames beside the data coming from legacy data warehouse. So what they like, they can load data directly from SQL, just specifying the path to the file without having a necessity to building any complex ETL-like or loading solution, or even asking other departments to do so. So they can do it exactly from the command line. And that's it about the project. And at the end, in last slide, I just want to mention that Vertica is not only a solution for pricing optimization, but it's a multiple purpose platform. So you can use Vertica as a typical data warehouse or 360 customer view. But we are also proud of a couple of deployments when Vertica being used as a fraud prevention or next best actions, or what product or they should buy, what is the next best purchase. For example, gaming. We also using Vertica, some customers are using Vertica for predictive maintenance or customer experience. For predictive maintenance, Philips is an excellent example where they have a zero unplanned downtimes due to predictive maintenance of Vertica, or Uber that is analyzing customer experience. For example, they are analyzing how much time a passenger is spending waiting for the driver to come in a specific region, so they can adjust their recommendation algorithms for the drivers.